Under Audio Devices, you have the choice to manage the inputs and outputs of your sound device. Under Recording, you can enable or disable the inputs. I may as well leave inputs 1 to 8 ticked. 9 to 10 is the digital input, which I will leave unticked for now. So this gives me 4 stereo or 8 mono inputs. For the playback device, I only really need outputs 1 and 2 right now, although you can always enable more outputs for headphone mixes or surround mixing. It's also possible to relabel these devices if you feel the need by clicking on the Rename button. So these inputs and outputs will now be accessible in the track editor. Next, I will look at the MIDI settings under the MIDI tab. I'm going to set the global record device or MIDI input device to the Fireface 400 MIDI 1. This will be the input you will probably connect your MIDI keyboard to. The global play device or MIDI output device will also be set to the Fireface MIDI 1. The Fireface 400 has 2 MIDI inputs and 2 MIDI outputs. I'm leaving both of these enabled as I also use a MIDI guitar sometimes as well. I suggest you disable the Microsoft GS Wavetable synthesizer to avoid it turning up at inopportune moments when recording MIDI. Under Audio MIDI Synchronization, I normally set the sync velocity to 100%. It's also a good idea to enable note on chasing, so that should do for the MIDI setup.